This is the roast beef. This is the meat you need for your barbacoa. For every pound of meat, you'll be using 4 potatoes, 4 carrots, 1 whole white onion, 4 of your Roma tomatoes. The Roma tomatoes are smaller than the regular big tomatoes. 8 of your New Mexico chili pod. 8 of the pasilla chili pod. Pasilla chili pod, it's written with 2 L's. It's a very dark in color, dehydrated chili, but it has a very great consistency mixed when you mix it. I mean, just the flavor itself is just so delicious. You have the chile de árbol, 8 of these. If you cannot find chile de árbol, I recommend, it's the same thing if you use the red crushed chilies peppers from the pizza. The one you always have leftovers in your cabinets, that's the same thing. 4 tablespoons of your chicken bouillon. It looks like this. 4 tablespoons of oregano. 1 whole head of garlic. 5 bay leaves. 3 tablespoons of garlic salt. 2 tablespoons of ground cumin. 1/2 cup of white vinegar. These are your ingredients, your main ingredients. Okay, so once your meat is all cut up, just like this, you're gonna start by peeling your carrots. Your carrots have to be peeled first before you cut them. You peel them all completely. After you peel them, you're gonna rinse them and cut them. Okay, after you have rinsed and washed your potatoes really good, you're gonna make this cut exactly. You're gonna cut your potato in half, and you go 1, 2, 3, exactly like this. Okay, you go 1, 2, 3. This is the shape and the size you want your potatoes to be in. Okay, so we have washed and rinsed our carrots, peel them really nice. Now we're gonna make the cut. You're gonna cut each end of your carrot, just like this. You can cut your carrot in half and just make some cuts like this. You want them kind of a little bit of thick, not very thin. Medium-sized pieces, and continue cutting the rest of them. Okay, so now your tomatoes, they're nicely washed and clean. You're gonna cut the outer stem. You're gonna make a cut in half, and then you go same as a potato. You go 1, 2, and 3. This is the cut you want your tomato. You're able to mix all the vegetables together because they're gonna go in together with the meat as well. Now that we have our meat cut up in pieces, as you can see here, I'm gonna mix all the vegetables. I'm gonna pour it in the meat raw, exactly how you see this here. With your clean hands, you're just gonna mix everything together. Make sure everything's mixed evenly. Okay, last but not least, I always leave my onions at last. You just rinse them. You're gonna cut the outer stem of each side, just like this. You're gonna make a small cut on the side of the onion so you can peel the first layer of the skin, just like this. Okay, you're gonna cut your onion in half, and you're gonna make a cross, cutting it 2 times. One like this, and one like this. That's all you need. As you can see, you put all your chili pods together in water and boil them. Once it reaches the boil temperature, you're gonna cover it and simmer it for 10 minutes. I did a lot of it because I'm making more quantity. I'm making like about 40 pounds of meat. But if you're making less, remember that for every pound of meat, it's 8 of each chili pod. I want to make clear that this that I'm making right now is for personal use. So we decided to put green olives. It doesn't, It's not supposed to have green olives, but my family loves them, so I put green olives in it. It's up to you. Once you have all your meat with your vegetables mixed together, you're gonna get your garlic salt. What are the ingredients I posted before? Just pour it all over. Get some salt. Pour it all over and mix. Okay, now I'm gonna mix all my spices together. Remember I told you we have the oregano, we have the cumin, powdered cumin, we got the chicken bouillon here, the powder one, and we also have the bay leaves. You're gonna put all your ingredients in your blender and you're gonna mix, and don't forget your vinegar as well, your vinegar. All your ingredients are going to be mixed in a blender with warm water. Okay, as you can see, I already cut up the sugar cane candy. If it's really hard, you might need like a hammer to cut it into small pieces, but sometimes it's really moist, so it's not very hard to get them to cut in small pieces like this. And if you don't have sugar cane candy called piloncillo, you can always use brown sugar or just regular sugar. And then again, I have all my spices in the blender. They're all in here with just a little bit of water. Once all my spices are here, I'm gonna mix everything together. Okay, it's time to check our chili pots. My chili pots are already boiling, as you can see. It smells, oh my God, I wish you could just smell that. It just smells very delicious. Once everything's boiled, I'm gonna turn down the high temperature to like a simmer kind of boil, and then I'm gonna cover it again. As you can see, I left all the stems in the chili pots. This gives it a really natural, really rich taste, and it doesn't matter because after everything's boiled and very tender, very soft, we're gonna blend it and we're gonna strain it, so all those stems are not gonna go in your food. All my ingredients are here. The sugar cane candy, all my ingredients that I told you guys to put in the blender, and we're gonna have a little bit of water. The water will be as much as to cover the whole spices. A little bit of warm water, we're gonna cover it and blend. The spices all blended, you're gonna pour them in a container. Everything's blended together, and just put everything in here. Okay, it's time to blend our chili. You're gonna grab your chili pots with some pliers because it's really hot. You're gonna pour it into your container, your blender. After you have mixed all the spices, just pour whatever amount of chilies you are blending. It's the serving size of the pounds of meat I told you at the beginning of the video. You are going to mix this with just the water that it cooked from. This water you will use in your blending for the chili pots. Okay, this is our chili. This is the consistency of the chili pots already mixed together. You guys could just smell this. It smells very delicious. We're gonna strain it and just pour it over the same container of all your mixed spices. Make sure you strain it really, really good. This is exactly what it's going to look like after you strain your chili. Okay, make sure you have a plastic bag next to you so you can go ahead and just pour the chili contents after you strain it all inside the bag, and continue with the rest of your chili pots. Okay, all my vegetables and meat are all together. My chili pots are nicely blended, very nice consistency. You're just gonna pour it all over your meat, just like this. All over until you're done. With your hands, you need to mix it all together. It's very hard with the spoon because I made a large quantity. But like I said, if you make small quantity, I gave you the measurements for each pound of meat. I'm gonna use my hands to mix everything. Just mix it. Make sure everything's evenly out, all together, just like this. Chilies are evenly mixed in between your meat and your vegetables, you're gonna get some water. And you're gonna pour some water until your whole pot is covered, just like this. You're gonna make small openings to let the water go inside the meat, just like this. Just like that, all evenly out. Don't put too much, because remember, when you cook the meat itself will release juice, and you'll have a little bit more than what you expect. But you'll be fine. You can always just strain it out. Okay, my meat is already in the stove. I'm gonna put it to high until it boils. I'm going to cover it. After covering, I'm gonna wait till my meat starts boiling, and then I will reduce the heat to medium, and this will cook between 3 to 4 hours. As you can see, my meat, it's already boiling. Now I'm gonna lower the high heat to medium and leave it there for 3 hours. The boiling started like 30 minutes after I put the meat on the stove. But remember, this is so much larger quantity than 1 pound. So once you start boiling, your meat starts boiling, you turn it down to medium heat and you leave it for 3 hours. If it's 1 pound, you go ahead and leave it for 2 hours. Anything over 1 pound of meat, you will leave in for 3 hours. Okay, as you can see, after it boiled, I'll put it down to simmer. This is the consistency you want to see on your heat. You cover it again. You bring it down to low. This is after 30 minutes. After I put the meat, it started boiling. After the 30 minutes, you bring it down to medium for an hour, and then after medium, you put it in an hour for in low, exactly on low. Your total cooking of your meat and the whole process is approximately 3 hours. Okay, this is the finished product. This is your barbacoa. The potatoes are still in one piece, so are the carrots. Okay, you can serve in your plate. And enjoy. Okay, you chop up a little bit of cilantro and white onion and some lime, and you just pour a little very little barbacoa on your plate and enjoy it with corn warm tortillas.